Welcome back to the bulletin. Let's take a quick scan of all that's making news in this country.
The United States and the United Nations have declared the Islamist organization Houthi as a terrorist group. India is expected to welcome the move. The group's leader, Ilyas Kashmiri, is wanted in India for his role in the devastating terror raids on luxury hotels in Mumbai in 2008. Suspended Commonwealth Games official T.S. Darbari has said he was targeted by the news media in the financial scandal that has hit preparations for the Games. He said he was confident that organizers of the Games will not let him become a scapegoat. Former Union Minister Shashi Tharoor has confirmed businesswoman Sunanda Pushkar is his fiancée. In April, the couple were in news headlines for their controversial cricket dealings with the Indian Premier League, which forced his resignation as minister amid an opposition uproar. Top communist leader Prakash Karath has criticized Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's food management policies. He told a meeting of senior colleagues in Vijayawada that his CPM party has been demanding food security for the poor people for a long time.
Well, that was the nation in 60 seconds, but also onto the big national tragedy that we've been reporting in the last couple of days in the flash floods caused by a cloudburst that has transformed the picturesque landscape of Leh into a virtual disaster zone. Large-scale search and rescue operations are underway with 400 people still missing. Among them are some 31 Jawans from an Indo-Tibetan border police camp. Hundreds of injured are still in hospitals. There are fears that the number of dead could climb as efforts continue to pull out people trapped under the debris. The army is carrying out rescue operations on a war footing with many people still stranded in isolated areas. The priority right now is to find the 400-odd people declared missing. Many buildings and houses and schools have also been completely destroyed. Communication lines are still down and the Srinagar-Leh highway is still blocked. But the Army and the Air Force have managed to completely clean up the mud and the slush from the runway so that flights, both the commercial and military, can land in Leh. Meanwhile, a statement released late last night by the Ministry of External Affairs said some foreign nationals have been affected in the flash floods, but their identities and nationalities are still being established. There are several foreign nationals among the rescued as well. Leh and Ladakh is, of course, a popular tourist destination that has a good inflow most of the times. In more national news, in an unfortunate accident off the coast of Mumbai, there was an oil spill after two merchant ships collided around 5 miles off the Mumbai port this morning. But the 33 crew members have been safely evacuated. The two ships collided when one of them was coming into the Mumbai waters and the other was leaving the Navi Mumbai port. One of the ships has now docked, but the other is still stranded at the accident site. In the latest from the controversy in Gujarat, the CBI has started questioning the former Gujarat Minister Amit Shah in the Sohrabuddin fake encounter case. Yesterday, the Gujarat High Court granted the CBI Amit Shah's custody for 2 days. The last time the probe agency had questioned Amit Shah was when he was in the Sabarmati jail, after which the CBI said the former minister didn't cooperate. But this time, he is expected to cooperate during the questioning. At least that's what his lawyer has suggested.
नहीं, सवालों की सूची तो मेरे ख्याल से इन्होंने तैयार भी नहीं करी है। वो एक्सटेम्पोर ही होगा, मुझे ये लग रहा है। सूची अगर होगी तो हम जरूर मांगेंगे। It is for CBI whether to grant it or not. But in all fairness, if they want to show that it's a fair investigation, they must give it to us.
जी में आपने क्या डिमांड कर रखी है इस रिमांड के सिलसिले में? क्या अभी भी डिमांड है?
नहीं, हमारी कोई डिमांड नहीं है। हमको तो ये देखना है, जब हाई कोर्ट का ऑर्डर है तो हाई कोर्ट के ऑर्डर के खिलाफ तो कोई डिमांड रखने का सवाल ही नहीं है। We only want to ensure that it's a free and fair interrogation. इस पे कोई दबाव नहीं डाला जाए, कोई फिजिकल या मेंटल टॉर्चर नहीं होना चाहिए। हमको यही देखना है।
On to some international news now. In a joint crackdown on the Pakistan-based Harkat-ul-Jihad Islami, or Houthi, as it's more commonly known, the United States and the United Nations today declared it to be a foreign terrorist organization and a specially designated global terrorist. They also slapped sanctions on its chief, Ilyas Kashmiri, who India wants access to for his role in planning 26/11. This freezes any assets Kashmiri has under US jurisdiction and prohibits American citizens from engaging in any transactions with him. Houthi's area of operation extends throughout South Asia, with its terrorist operations focused primarily in India and Pakistan. Well, the US Treasury Department has come out with a statement announcing that Kashmiri is at the core of Huji's efforts to plan attacks against the US and its allies. He is being called responsible for creating a cadre of militants to act on behalf of Huji and Al-Qaeda. They add that in acting together, the US and the UN are taking another important step in combating the threat that organizations like Al-Qaeda and others pose. In news from the world of sports and controversies, as a dark cloud continues to hang over the Commonwealth Games that could mar Indian sport in the eyes of the world, former sporting greats voiced their opinions rather loud and clear.
Games that are meant to bring pride to the country are now marred by corruption from all ends. That is not all. India later woke up to the possibility that the basic facilities could fail to meet completion, leave alone world-class standards.
Happy that we are going to conduct the Commonwealth Games, but preparation-wise, I don't know how it will be. It's ready and all. But last week I could see the stadium track was very good, but work is not finished.
And some feel it's better to focus on winning the medals rather than the corruption entangled with the games.
The corruption, yeah, for sure. I think it's really sad that there is so much corruption involved. As far as Olympic Gold Quest is concerned, we are focusing on the performances of our athletes at the Commonwealth Games. 11 of our athletes are surely taking part in the Commonwealth Games.
With less than 60 days to go before India's first major international tournament on home ground, is there a way to move forward?
If at all there is a debate on what's happening, it should be on how we can make the Commonwealth Games successful from now on, from August 6th, 2010 unto October. How can we all help and all assist in seeing that we do a good games, because eventually it's the pride of the country. So if at all there's a debate, I think the debate should be on this.
In Chennai, Natasha for NDTV Hindu.
Well, in other sports news, in what's being called a remarkable fight back in a memorable test match between India and Sri Lanka, India has beaten Sri Lanka by 5 wickets in the third and final Colombo test. India needed to win the test in order to level the series, and man of the match, VVS Lakshman's 16th test 100, his first in Sri Lanka, was that clincher. But till the start of the 5th day, it did seem like any team could win this tense battle.
Ishant Sharma had been brought in as a night watchman, but early on day 5, Sri Lanka sent him back to start what would be the real battle. This was not just the turning point of the test, it was the turning point of the series. Tilakaratne Dilshan dropping Sachin Tendulkar on 18, Lanka denied 2 quick wickets. Sachin lived to fight another day, and fight he did. The Master Blaster struck his 56th test 50, and it was advantage India.
That's his half century, that's very well played. The runs that batsmen value are those that are hard to get.
VVS Lakshman had performed in pressure situations throughout the series, and he did it again with a 50. But Lakshman had a few problems. A back spasm meant a runner would have to be called. India was inside of victory, but the seesaw battle continued. Randeep taking his 5th wicket of the innings, but the fact that it was Sachin's was what brought Sri Lanka back into the game. Suresh Raina came in and stated his intentions early on, but it was a risky call as Mahela Jayawardene let go of what was a very difficult catch.
Yes, he's obviously done something.
All this while India's wounded soldier was fighting on to ensure what would be a memorable win. Lakshman's 16th test 100 not only ensured India completed its highest chase in Sri Lanka, but it was also his first 100 in the 4th innings of a test match. Raina finished things off in style as India completed a terrific win, one that strengthened its position as the world #1 test side, and clearly one that meant a whole lot to them.
Time now to bring you our special segment in the run-up to celebrate Nama Madras. Heritage buildings are strong symbols of the city that was once known as Madras, and among them is one of India's oldest railway stations. Take a look.
India's vast railway network has a strong historic link with Madras. In June 1856, India got her second railway station. This station in Raipuram was inaugurated by the Governor of Madras, Lord Harris. The commuters who come here are certainly proud of it.
30 வருஷமா இந்த வழியா நான் டிராவல் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன். இந்த ஓல்டஸ்ட் ஸ்டேஷன் வழியா போர்ட்ரஸ்ட் ஹார்பர் போறதுக்காக நான் இந்த வழியா கிராஸ் பண்ணி போயிட்டு இருக்கேன். எவரி இயர் எனக்கு இது ப்ரௌட்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கு.
The architecture is quasi-classical with iconic pillars and cantilevers used on its platform roof. The roof of its grand porch is replete with carvings. The windows and doors are Victorian. The tall arched openings are another common feature throughout the station. Believed to be one of the oldest standing railway station structures of the Indian Railways, the Raipuram railway station today proudly stands and poses to the onlookers as well as the passengers who frequent it. Definitely something to be proud of and something synonymous with old Madras. Despite being the oldest surviving railway station and after recent renovations, it still displays its former splendor. And clearly, there's no railway building more worthy of being called a heritage building. In Chennai, Zoya Thomas for NDTV Hindu.
Well, surely celebrations to mark the birth of the city have just gotten bigger and better this year. In fact, this year organizers have involved the city's expatriate community to share their experience.
They are widely known as Chennai's expatriate community, but organizers of Madras Day brought its members together to tell them they too were very much a part of Madras and its lifestyle and culture. Some of them shared their experience.
It's the warmth of the people and this amazing openness and the spirituality, the underlying spirituality that has made me feel home here.
For me, it's mostly the people. If you focus on people, you forget the noise, you forget the traffic, you forget everything.
For these foreigners who've made Madras their second home, programs were rolled out to help them adjust to the city's people and their lifestyles.
With the celebration of festivals, learning the language. We do a language class called Learn the Language, Live the Culture.
Historian Mutaya, one of the key players in the Madras Day celebrations, agreed and said one had to live in the city to experience the city's pulse and culture. In Chennai with Pratiksha, Nithila, NDTV Hindu.
A joyful group there to share our city. That's a wrap on this bulletin. I'll see you at 10 with the next news update. Till then, keep watching NDTV Hindu.